So I've been watching the charts for a little bit already this morning. And was actually watching this move down here. Had this nice little support forming. I think the support actually looks nicer on the 5-minute. You can see these wicks rejecting this area at the end of the day yesterday, and then kind of came back down, got some rejections, and then rejected again. I wasn't sure if we were going to break through, kidding that we sort of tested it a bunch of times, but I don't trade this time of day anyway. I wait till the open. But that actually played out really nice. Really nice. So now, this is probably just like a little area of concern. I don't know if it's going to hold, being that we broke this structure sort of on the way up here. What we might do is kind of come up into this and then retest this, also this support resistance area, and then maybe get another push up. We got like a kind of a little retest here, but see on the 1 minute, didn't quite come all the way into it. Anyhow, that's just kind of what I'm watching right now and waiting for the open. So we'll just sort of see how everything plays. Oh, and then this is the 5,000 tick, and I was just sort of looking at this like kind of larger channel going up here that we, sort of broke out the bottom of. So this could also be, as we come up into that area I just highlighted right in here, the shaded region. It's also testing the underside of that channel. And sometimes what I use this regression tool, and this is 3 standard deviations. So this gives a little bit of a wider channel, but then we sort of bounced off the bottom of that. So it's a little bit, we'll just sort of play it. See, it's, kind of a tight overnight range on this. This is the hourly, really tight overnight, and then kind of dropped down, tested this lower area, and just sort of forming this flag, I guess you'd call it. So I'll just continue to watch how that plays out. I don't know, I kind of want to look at shorting this, but also this could be a retest. Like, this was clearly some resistance. And so I'm a little concerned about just doing like a break and retest of this, but I kind of wanted to just do that for a short. I just don't super trust it, because I'm looking at this. Looks like that short would have worked though already. Let's see, can that be done? No, it's got some ways to go still. Just got that quick rejection at the top. We might get a buy here. I don't know. It's top of the range, man. Feels sketchy. Let's see what happens here. I just enter this because bouncing off that support, wiped out that down candle completely. But if it doesn't fill soon, I'm going to cancel. I want that buying momentum to just sort of continue on up. I'm going to cancel that order. You get that kind of a wipeout, reversal, and you kind of just want it to keep going. I don't like that it's hesitating, so it sort of negates the signal to me. I'm I'm just going to wait. Thinking about a long here. Again, I just want to see the buying like stay pretty strong there. So if this doesn't look like the buyers are aggressive, I'm going to cancel this order. Sort of need this to pop up and fill pretty quickly. There we go. I'll put my stop right under this wick right here. I don't want this to come back. There we go. Okay. Got the first one. That worked out all right. So I missed the entry a couple times, but was able to get an opportunity there. All right, we'll just watch this now. We got this support. We got demand. We might get a little consolidation breakout play too. This is not quite tight enough for me yet. I don't really, it's just sort of like chopping its way up. I mean, sometimes I'll take something like this and do that, but I like it to go a little bit more sideways. But we got some good momentum here. That was a pretty decent, breakout level too. Broken over some like multi-day resistance there. That's a real nice level that we just broke out over. So I think we can keep going up. That'd be the kind of trade, if I was trading multiple contracts like this trade right here, like for sure leave a runner on that, man. Definitely leave a runner on that. Because this thing could go, I don't even know, where would it go to? Target, let's see, there, fill this gap. That'd be where I would target. 38.85-ish. Fill that gap. It's a little bit of a weird one because there is a wick in there, but it's probably one of the news releases. If this breaks out from here, I'll take it. Oh wait, I got a phone call. I'm gonna cancel this. All right, kind of bummed I missed that trade. I had to grab a phone call for my other business. I had some possible data loss issues going on the past couple of days. One of my guys was trying to format trying to back up a hard drive and accidentally reformatted it and like possibly lost like a massive amount of our data. Super, super frustrating. So we've been dealing with that the past couple of days. This was a really nice breakout. I don't know if you guys were watching. I actually tried. I was on the phone, but I tried to just grab it real quick, but my order didn't get in time. And so one thing I don't like about Ninja is like if you put a stop order in and it happens to be like a tick below price, it won't put it in. Whereas like a lot of other platforms they'll basically just execute it as a market at that point. So that was a little bit frustrating, and I just wasn't able to get there quick enough. And that trade worked. It got the 1-to-1. So it's setting up again right now, but this is now the second one. I mean, this honestly, you might even call this, you see they got this little volume cluster. So to me, this is like 1, pause, 2, pause, 3. This one I'm not going to take. Because I think it wasn't a clean setup, but you've got the consolidation, you've got the volume cluster there. So this one, sometimes these work, like it's not like it never works, but that would be essentially if this breaks from here, but it might come down and retest. The other thing I'm going to be cautious about, I may take it, but you do have this demand right here. So like this might, if it pulls back to here, I think it'd be a little bit nicer at this point. But see, there's still some buying momentum, but that got rejected right away. Like that's not pretty. I'll keep this on here to see if this works out or not. But sometimes I just like to know. But see, at that point, like seeing that wick, I'd be pissed if I was in that trade right now, going immediately against you. So not feeling that. I'm a little bummed I missed this one, because that would have been, I probably would have been done for the day, honestly, if I hit that. That would have put me at about like $60 for the day, which on this little micro account is cool for me. Boom, that would have been a stop right there. So that's Dunsky. So yeah, that's why I don't take those. The little third one. All right, breakout, consolidation 1, consolidation 2. Those are good. This one you could have taken, it just wasn't that clean. This one's good for that 1-to-1. So this one, if you took it, you could go for a little bit more if you want to. I just go for the 1-to-1, but this first one, you can go for 1-to-2 if you want to. 1-to-1 on this one worked out. This one, false breakout. That's an ugly little rejection right there. I don't know. Yeah, so it's also like, there's like this little area on this hourly chart in here. See this little support area. So that's kind of what we just, I think what we just ran into. I'm not going to say that we won't break that. Like I don't think it's a particularly poignant resistance area, but it's there. I consider this for a 1-to-1 if it's clean. If we just come nicely into it, it just sort of depends how we come into it. Just see how the volume is distributed. Yeah, it's all right. I don't like this other little like bump right here. Plus, we really could come down and like retest. This is like a much more significant support area down here. It's like a retest off this would be really pretty. Honestly, if this comes up a little bit more and then comes down, it's sort of a worthy short. You got some, you're going to have some trapped buyers for sure in there. Like for sure. And you got that gap below you. So I'm actually going to just sort of get ready to maybe short this. I like how this is just rejecting. Got this little resistance area in here. You get that sort of tapping into this supply area before this strong candle down. Yeah, I'm kind of feeling this for a short. We'll see. So I'm sort of looking at this area right here right now. Looks like that long would have worked. Just barely. If we take out this candle, I'm getting short. Yeah. Ooh, close. There we go, man. Basically, I'm just looking for some trapped longs, you know. I'm going to be quick to protect this, though, because it's sort of against momentum. We are still in this bullish demand zone. Give it a little breathing room. Yeah, it took me out. So I didn't want to risk a lot on that. I just, because it is still very bullish. It moved a little bit, but then like they kind of lost that momentum. I didn't want to risk a lot, get chopped up, keep some of my profits from the day. Plus, like, we ran some stops here, and now if it comes back up, man, this actually could still turn into a nice little long off this demand area. Getting these nice wicks here, these nice rejections. Buyers coming in again. This little wick forming. See if it comes up and kicks me in. There we go. I'm long again. It's still a valid demand zone. That's why I didn't want to hold that short too aggressively. All right, let's see how we do here. Pull back a little bit. It's got to still break out of the sort of downward channel that it's in. Once it breaks out of that channel, I'll probably move my stop up a little bit. If it breaks out of that channel. Struggling a little bit. I don't want to get back much on this. Got so close to my target. Okay, took my stop, but that's okay. Might go to my target anyway, but I just wanted to make sure I grabbed a little bit of that. I'm still now up 40 on the day, so I increased. There we go. There's my original target, so that's fine. Let's just chill for a minute because it's starting to look kind of sideways. And you can see exactly sort of what I was talking about, how this is just becoming like one big volume cluster. That's what made me hesitant about taking this first demand setup to begin with, is this looks like it might just consolidate up here. I'd want to see this fill in. So instead of looking like like the Twin Towers over here, make it a little bit of a cleaner bell curve. So, plus what would be nice actually, if we build some good volume up here, which would be acceptance of price, fair value, and then sort of rip back down and test this area of previous support plus the supply, and you get a buy signal down here to then come back into this area of acceptance. So we know down here there was an imbalance of buyers and sellers. That's what created this drive. And then this is going to be the most recent area of accepted value, right? Fair value. So we come back into an area of imbalanced demand, and it's really natural for price to want to come back up and just recheck that fair value area. Like, has anything changed? Is this still the area that the people are willing to accept? So that's sort of what I'd look out for now. And that could take a while, man. Sometimes you get these strong drives really early in the first 30 minutes of the day, and then you just go sideways for a while. Some people are really good at scalping these sideways things. I tend to get chopped up. I always decide to jump in right when it's ending. So don't do it. Rejecting again this area right here. Nice little short. So this is how, if you want to trade this, right? Like that's It's your little short setup right there. And then we've got, you know, this area down here that price is not wanting to close below. So that becomes our range that we want to play with if we're going to trade it. Momentum's up though. I'd rather take the longs, I guess. This is risky. Only doing it because it's my sim account. But taking this as a failed breakout. Got that big engulfing bar, big bearish engulfing bar, so I feel like it's decent probability. Failed breakout of this range, bearish engulfing bar. We're coming back into this volume area. It's against the momentum, which is what makes it risky. I wouldn't take this in my cash account, to be honest. There we go. Starting to move a little bit. At this point, I don't really want this to reverse. So let's see, this might come back up and tag me. It got to the POC, you know, that would have been the safer target, but the risk reward was kind of garbage on that. So I was trying to get, you know, a bigger sweep down, thinking we failed to break out, big bearish engulfing, maybe even come down and test this bottom down here would be like the bigger RR move. Thinking there's trapped longs up here at the highs. I'm gonna actually, this is sim, I'm gonna put this back here. Let's just let this play out. Give this room to breathe. We also, this again, notice the POC is the top of your, you know, whether you want to call it an order block or a demand area, right? But we never got out of this range. Like, this is really just range expansion, and that's why I'm thinking we could go test the bottom parts of this. But we shall see. See if we get another push through the POC. Honestly, would not really expect a POC bounce here, just because we never left the range. Usually I look for POC bounces if we leave the range pretty decisively, start to build value elsewhere, and then come back to test. We break the bottom of that doji, I think we should be good to hit my target. But if we break the top of it, I also think there's a decent chance my stop gets tagged. Which I suppose would be an argument for moving my stop there, but you know, we might just retest these highs too. Let's see, let's get through this POC. I want to get, especially if we get a close under the POC. I think, there we go. Let's see. See if we can't get some continued momentum down and take my target. Really close. I want us to push a little bit more, and then I'll probably move. There we go. Nice. Okay. So that's exactly what I was looking for, to get that just momentum. You know, you got all these longs that bought here at this POC, and then you got this push up and a failed breakout, and you get this bearish engulfing candle. You know, on a failed breakout like that at an hourly resistance level. And then honestly, like, I think this down here is a really nice target. So, but we might chop around. The thing is, you know, moving into these high volume areas is, we know that there's both buyers and sellers there. That's what creates the high volume. So you can often expect price to slow down in there and to get some chop. And it could be a little bit difficult holding through that. But once you get through it, then you get some more ease of movement. I think especially, you know, we break this area, and then you've just got this gap. And I think coming down to test, this could be like, if you want to go for higher RR, you get target 1 right here, target 2 right here. That'd be the way to do that. But that worked out all right. Left a little bit of money on the table today in my cash account. I missed one trade, stood aside for one that turned out to work, and then this one I switched to sim, but it would have worked. This is not a normal setup for me. It's a setup I'd like to get more comfortable with, so I'm happy to practice it in sim.